evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Necromaniacs Horror Podcast. How's it going, Mike?
It is going well. Recording this on a Monday, late August. Jane and I actually squeezed in a beach day today. How about that?
I'm not much of a beach guy, but that's cool. That's cool that you guys went out to the beach,
Yes,
definitely.
yes. We like the beach. We went to Reese Beach. I have to say, I probably can't picture you as being much of a beach guy, Mike. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that tracks, as they say.
And my wife is definitely doesn't like being in the sun either. She's like,
Mm,
when we go out and walk around during the daylight, she always wears like a big hat, to cover her
mhm.
so she doesn't get any kind of color, you know what I mean?
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I think in another life, I'm this, much more outdoorsy than I really am, even though I'm
Yeah.
not an outdoorsy person.
Yeah.
I do like being outside in the summer though. So that it's kind of weird. Even though like I'm beach goth, I guess, like I
Yeah.
wore, you know, wear my metal shirts and what etc. to the beach.
Dude, I don't even have a pair of shorts besides like the only shorts I have are the shorts like those Muay Thai shorts that I have that, you know what I mean? Like I do like
Right, right.
I don't even if I go lift weights, I lift weights in sweatpants.
I said to Jane, I said, shorts and metal bands is no good. And she's like, what do
No,
you mean?
no.
I said,
Unless you're anthrax.
no death or black metal band should ever wear shorts. I said, shorts are for hardcore bands.
Yeah, yeah.
She said, really?
Anthrax. Anthrax can wear
Well,
shorts.
yeah, well, Anthrax was trying to, that was when they were literally trying to be a little more, in that vein, in that era. And then they kind of left that era behind. But yeah, I think it just doesn't work. And then I rethought about it and I said, you know what? There is one death metal band that I respect the hell out of and I love. And they kind of always wore shorts in the summer months. And she's like, who? I says, it's Obituary.
Yeah,
They
yeah, totally,
wear
man.
shorts. I says, but they're from Florida. Like they're like, I says, you know what? They get a pass. I said, they get a pass. I said, but Deicide, no shorts.
No.
Morbid Angel, there's no shorts. I said, you go see Mayhem, there's no shorts on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
I don't want to see any of these bands in shorts. I don't want to see Metallica in shorts. I don't
No.
want to see Slayer in
Nope.
shorts. No, no, no. But I think for the hardcore aesthetic, it does work. It does. I think it does.
You remember a couple of years ago we went to the almost everyone that we know went to
Hmm.
see Danzig in Atlantic City.
Yes, yes.
All right, so we stayed in the Oceans Hotel, and
Hmm.
so they have a pool there.
Right.
So Tina was like, "Oh, let's maybe she's like, do you have a bathing suit?" I'm like, "No." It's like
No,
let,
Michael's like,
let's
no.
let's try to like maybe go to the beach, not the
Yeah,
beach.
yeah, yeah.
Go
Check it out.
hang out in the pool. Go to the
Right.
pool.
Mhm.
So I bought a bathing suit, but we didn't go to the pool.
Okay.
So now I have a bathing suit. That's it.
Hmm.
And that's there's not much more to that story. But yes.
Oh, I thought I was waiting for something else.
No,
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
even there when we had this beautiful pool in this nice hotel. I didn't even
Yeah. See,
do
that must
much
have been
for
a
it.
great time to go to the Ocean Hotel. We went there this summer and it was a shit ton of kids, but that was in like late September, so it was probably all adults. So that
Yeah.
must be cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. That was a great weekend.
But yeah, had a good day at the beach. It may be the last day to go. I mean, even though you kind of could still go in September, it gets harder to go post summer. So
This
we'll see.
coming weekend is a big weekend. We got the Labor Day weekend coming up. So
Yes,
this is like,
yes.
people are gonna fucking go all out. This is like if
No,
you're gonna
totally,
do your
totally.
beach excursion, this is the time to do it.
So yeah, I know you and Tina will be hitting the beach next weekend. Yeah, definitely.
No, absolutely not, man.
So yeah, other than that, saw this wonderful movie the other night with the other day, daytime for tonight's film with my horror mentor, friend of the show, Mark Yoshitomi, and had a good time. And yeah, what about you this past weekend?
We went on Friday night to go see the film, and
Mhm.
We did not go to the AMC. There's
Ah,
literally
mm,
an AMC that's 5 minutes from here, but we're boycotting it
the
because
boycott, yeah, the boycott
well,
continues.
yeah, the boycott continues because it's always every time I go there, there's some kind of problem, you know what I mean, all the time.
Mm,
So we drove all the way out to Watchung, which is like maybe 30 minutes from here,
mhm.
and went to a nicer theater, you know, the kind of theater where like, you know, civilized people go to. And
Yeah.
yeah, you know, a little further out in Jersey, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so yeah, it was nice. It was a good time. We got dinner beforehand, and yeah, it was just you know a cool movie to go see as like out in the theater. I just fully recommend going to see this movie in the theater.
Well, sure enough, at an AMC, a man and a woman were seeing a film the other week in New York, and these teenagers were causing a ruckus, and he asked them to be quiet. They didn't. He asked them one more time. They did not. So after the movie was over, they jumped him and beat him to a pulp.
Really?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So there you go.
AMC.
There you go.
That's
That's you
yeah,
gotta be careful. You gotta watch yourself. The AMC movie theaters.
yeah. Apparently you do, man. I mean, geez, that's like the last thing you want. But I mean, you can't tell anybody anything anymore. You're taking your life in your hands, apparently.
I I've had words with kids at AMC before.
Oh boy.
And like I always assume that they're going to start some shit after the movie, but they never do.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm ready for trouble, you know.
Good. Oh my God, man. Yeah, dude. It's just, we live in a crazy world, as they say. Yeah.
And that's why we stopped going because we go to different types of theaters now because there's always like someone trying to get fresh, you know, and you got to put them in their place,
Mm.
and there's always a problem. No one needs that.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Luckily, we went to the Alpine. Alpine,
There you go.
the birthplace of Necromaniacs
That's
podcast,
right.
which I
That's right.
reminded Mark. And yeah, they redid the Alpine. It's definitely nicer, the prices, you can't beat the prices there. Yeah, good time.
Fuck yeah, man. And you check anything else out?
Uh, Jane and I watched a very depressing documentary about a former porn star who contracted HIV on the
Oh
set.
man, wow, that
Yeah,
sounds really heavy, man.
it was super heavy. But it had a happy ending because
It had a happy ending.
the happy she's still alive. And then
Oh,
when we
jeez.
Googled her, we saw that she's still alive now. So, you know, it had somewhat of a happy ending. I mean, the professional name's Lara Rocks. Um, I mean, oof, she's Canadian and just real brutal. Um, it's weird how sometimes you find things via a search for something else when you have a Roku,
Oh yeah.
and then Roku will show you everything else in that vein.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely. Yep.
And yeah, like there was all these documentaries, and then there's if we hit the button to see what a documentary about something in the adult film world was about, then all of a sudden everything else that was in that vein popped up. And this one came up, and it was like, oh, this sounds really interesting and really dark and terrible, and we wanted to watch it. And it was actually quite good. Yeah.
It sounds pretty dark, but you know, I'll
It
probably
is.
try to check that out. We got
Yeah.
the Roku here too, so it's you know same. I know the drill with Roku.
That's the thing. Yeah, like that's what I like about Roku. It's like whatever you kind of want. And people I think don't even realize that about it. It's called Inside Lara Rocks. It actually is from 2011. Um, but yeah, it came across our feed pretty easily for an old film, and we were just happy to see that she's alive currently and well. I think so. But, poor girl's been through hell.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I've been really enjoying Alien Earth, so that's you know really, I think that's a top-notch show.
So have I. I completely forgot to mention that I caught up and watched all three. episodes, and yeah, it's a home run, man. Don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, totally, man. Like it's similar to what the he did with Fargo. Like, I
Mm.
feel like this he takes like the film and then he goes off in a completely different place with it. And I think that's what Alien's about to do.
Well, see, all right. When I was a friend of mine asked me about it the other night, and I said, "Well, it takes place 2 years before the first Alien movie." And then he's like, "Well, wait a minute. Doesn't that retcon things right away?" And I'm like, "Well, no, not really, because the Nostromo was floating around for years.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
nobody on the Nostromo, of course, barring what's his name, not not cyborg, the synth human, the synthetic human
Yeah.
who knew everything, probably barring him, knew anything about, say, a prior alien event. Would you agree? Maybe because they were in like their stasis or wherever the fuck they were in. No,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were out in some deep space, location. They were probably completely cut off from what was going on Earth.
but the thing is, though, I think there's probably more to it than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was just kind of like my immediate thought. I was like, well, no, not really. I'm like, you could have something 2 years before Alien. Alien is, I don't think that Xenomorph is the first
No,
one.
no, no, no. There's a whole, I mean, in
Right.
Alien 2, there's a whole gang of them.
Right. No, but I'm talking about in that timeline. Alien 2 jumps, what is it, 40, 70? I forget how many years Alien 2 does jump because Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver is in stasis again. She's, floating in space for a while, right? Um, but I think a lot of people may be under the impression that that alien in Alien, the 79 alien, well, isn't he supposed to be the first one? And it's like,
No,
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 he's
no,
not supposed
no.
to be the first one.
No,
Right,
they're
right.
they're they're like a race of creatures that
Yeah.
exist. They're not like that guy didn't come out of, fucking, that's all right. First of all, everybody calm down. All right. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I
try to
said, don't worry
enjoy
about that.
something.
Watch it. I said,
Yeah,
just don't
just
worry. I said,
there you go. That's the best
yeah,
thing. That's the
yeah,
best
yeah,
advice you could have given this guy. Don't
yeah,
worry.
that's right. And he said
Watch it.
he's going to watch it. So there you go.
Yeah,
But
everyone
yeah,
calm
I'm
down.
enjoying the hell out of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think it is totally. I actually love that it's in the realm of Alien because it has the look of Alien
Dude,
79, right?
it hits it like it's enough like it feels like the same continuum,
Mm,
but it also has enough new ideas in there to make it really interesting.
yes, yes.
And like I love the throwback to that old school like instruments and all the electronics look old and that cockpit that the guy was in that the guy who was like I forgot the character's name but that
Mhm.
the black dude with the who's the he's a cyborg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
He's
he's in
ill,
that old
man. Oh my
yeah, dude,
God,
he's
he's
the
so
best
ill.
character. He's so sick. And like his little cockpit has looks like the Nostromo cockpit, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's like there's all these cool little things. Um, Yeah, I like it a lot. I also like that the alien is like almost kind of like black, like he's like darker. You notice
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, yeah. He's like this
Sick looking,
really
right?
exactly, man. It looks great. Everything looks great. It's
Mm.
interesting. I like the inclusion of there's some Mob Rules, Black Sabbath.
Oh, that was so
It was
cool.
like I
And
was
that
like
kind of
that
made
intro.
me,
I was like, wait, hold on a second. This is the intro to Mob Rules.
yeah. And then it just again, it just kind of brought me back to the like 79 to the early 80s and that Black Sabbath album. And I was just like, man, that's just like, I don't know, that's very, very timely almost. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I'll tell you what it did to me when I heard that. Because that song was in the heavy metal movie,
Yes,
right?
that's yep, yep,
And
yep,
the
yep.
very, very first time I had any inkling about the Alien film was I saw an ad for it in Heavy Metal magazine.
Oh, okay.
So all this shit connected with me like when I was like a little kid, and then,
Mm.
going to see the heavy metal, the animated film, hearing the Black Sabbath song, this Alien Earth having the same Black Sabbath song in it. And it's
Yes.
just like, I'm like, this is going to be some good shit, I think.
Nah, totally, totally, man. Um, what do you call it? Yeah. enjoying the hell out of it. I think there's a new episode this week, right?
Oh, every Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Stoked.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out to the Horsemen.
Yes,
So,
yes.
as you guys know, we are a member of an elite group of content creators at war trying to decimate mediocrity. And of
Mm.
course, I'm talking about the Horsemen of the podcasting apocalypse. Kicking things off every Monday, every other Monday, we've got Brandon Legion's Horrorwolf 666.
Tuesday, we have none other than Jackie Smith's own Into the Necrosphere, bringing you the very best in extreme metal each and every week. Make sure you're subscribed.
On Wednesday, we've got Everything Went Black, which is how I kind of got into podcasting, was starting that thing like years and years ago. And
Mhm.
it's also, we have a twofer on Wednesday. We also have Cheyenne from Trivax podcast called Iblis Manifestations.
That's right. What about the next day, Mike? What's then?
Well, Thursday, of course, is Necro Thursday, where we come at you, either
Hmm.
me and Mike or me and Jeff, with new and old horror films discussion, deep dives, like that kind of thing. It's also the first day of Soul Knocks, brought to you by Carl Hykara. And what's on
Mm.
Friday?
On Friday, we have my brother from our actual mother, Mr. John Draper, along with his co-host Shaheen and B. Show Brian, bringing you Spitball Media. Very cool, fun, irreverent podcast. Check it out each and every Friday.
Saturday's a day off, and as the dog days of summer come to an end, go out, enjoy yourself. The greatest season of them all is coming. That, of course, is
Hmm.
autumn, and we're going to have a lot of fun this year in autumn.
Yes, we are.
Because on Sunday, the sinister minister Carl Hykara comes back with day two of Soul Knocks. And Carl and I are doing our Darkness Weaves collaboration, where we talk about the work of Carl Edward Wagner. Right now, we're in the final Kane novel called Darkness Weaves. We've got a few more obscure, out of print Kane stories that we're going to be covering,
Oh,
and then
awesome.
a couple other. We uncovered a couple of more horror stories by Wagner, but we're also laying the groundwork for our next project, and this is going to be a very, very ambitious undertaking, and it's covering all the Robert E. Howard material.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
That
mean
is.
that's going to be the rest of our lives, really. Just like we're basically going to start
Yeah,
another podcast talking about Robert E. Howard. That can go on for years. So yeah,
absolutely. Jesus. I could take forever, as
yeah,
they say.
yeah. We got a call this week, a
We got a
couple of
couple.
calls actually.
Yeah.
So if you want to get at us at the Necrophone, you can call us at 908-913-0782. That's 908-913-0782. And we got a message from Mike from Pennsylvania. He was driving through Connecticut uh, after going to see I Hate God. And I didn't even
Hmm.
realize that they were on tour, man. I got to see if they're playing anywhere near here. But thanks for
Yeah,
calling in.
them and Crowbar,
Oh, shit.
they did a boat show in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was the other last week, I think.
Oh, man. I'm way behind.
Yeah. So I think that, I don't think they'll be coming back, but
Ah,
yep.
well, I've played with both of those bands. I've done like 30 or 40 shows with those bands. So,
Yes.
it's like, it's okay. I missed him this time around.
Mm.
But we've got Conrad from Alberta.
Hey, this is Conrad from Alberta, Canada. Hope you guys are doing well. Just want to say you guys are crushing it. The episodes have been fantastic. Just watched or listened to, I should say, your Clown in the Cornfield. Yeah, I've had pretty much the same feelings towards that as Mr. Hill did. Fun movie though. What can I say? Just wanted to touch some bases on some stuff. Yeah, you guys had mentioned looking at covering weapons and together and bring her back. That one, that's phenomenal movie. Together, weapons was very interesting. Also, like I know that Mr. Hill, you're a big fan of like all the Werewolf films. I don't know, maybe it's in your back catalog. If you guys have ever covered like Dog Soldiers or Meridian, some of those fun ones. Meridian's fun because it's got Audrey Horne from Twin Peaks. Also, yeah, another shout out to your other podcast there, Mr. Hill. The Black Lodge episode's real fun. All your episodes are really fun. It's a great podcast. Also wanted to ask you, I know that you've mentioned them before. I don't know if you're much into it these days, the whole Manson, LaBianca murders and stuff. If you've ever had a chance to read Tom O'Neill's book Chaos, I don't know if you're still, if that's your avenue to travel down or whatever, but I think you talking to that man, if you could ever arrange that on Everything Went Black, the two of you, with the knowledge that you have and what he brings to the table, I think that would make an amazing episode. Yeah, really looking forward to Feral Darkness. You guys are crushing it. Of course, the Kane series or Carl Edward Wagner series that you're doing as well. Phenomenal. Yeah, just loving everything that you guys are doing. Also, if you've ever heard of the manga Berserk, I know you're big into sword and sorcery. It's Japanese based. I'm sure Carl, Hikara there, knows a thing or two about Berserk. I think you would really, dig that, Mr. Hill. Anyways, taking up enough of your time. Thanks for everything you guys are doing. You guys are crushing it. Love you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Conrad. The Bring Her Back episode is coming. We were actually supposed to do that tonight, but
That's right. It's coming.
weapons kind of jumped the line here. So
Yes, it did. It did. So yeah, that we're definitely going to be busting out that episode very soon.
yeah. I have not seen Meridian. That sounds
Me
cool
either.
though. But
No, I've heard of it. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen Dog Soldiers. And have we covered that, Mike? I don't remember.
Maybe.
I,
Yeah. I mean, it's a maybe. I'm not 100%, but Meridian Kiss of the Beast sounds real cool because it's for 1990, and our friend Sherilyn Fenn is in it, Michael. So we have
yeah,
to
I
see
know.
this movie.
Definitely, man. Little
Yeah,
Audrey Horne is in it, so I got to check that
yeah,
out.
we gotta check this out.
Um,
Exactamente.
yes, I have read Chaos actually, and it's like, I was the biggest Manson head in the 90s. Like I was, and maybe even past then. Maybe, yeah, for a really long time, I was obsessed with the Manson family and the Process Church and all that stuff. And David Berkowitz and all that kind of jazz. I was really into that stuff. I've read the reason why I haven't been reading a lot of it because I feel like I've read all of the books that ever came out about Manson. So
Is that okay? That one is from
yeah, that one
2019.
came out a couple of years ago.
Is
Chaos.
that like the one that was like the most recent one that like really made the rounds and he was on like Joe Rogan? Was
Yeah,
that this guy?
yeah,
Okay,
yep,
that's the guy.
that's the guy.
Okay, okay, that's the guy. I want to read this book. I
Yeah, it's
want to
good. It's
read.
I recommend it. You know, I can't vouch for the factual nature of everything in there, but it's definitely worth reading. I always try to read anything,
Mm.
new-ish on Manson. And if
Sure.
there's like some kind of like documentary, I'll always check out stuff with Manson. You know what I mean? I find that whole thing fascinating, really. Um,
Nice.
the greatest thing ever is the Van Beber Manson family movie. If you haven't seen that, Conrad, I recommend checking that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And actually that Berserk book you're talking about is in my Amazon cart. I have to pull the trigger on that now that you mentioned it. Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, man. Up next we got Travis from Michigan.
Hey, what's up? This is Travis from Michigan. Just calling to say, still a big fan of the show. Been listening for years now. I just love everything you guys do. I missed a few episodes, but I was curious if you guys have had more discussion about the Hall of Fame series you guys mentioned a while back. I forget which episode, but for an example, you said maybe doing an episode on like Donald Sutherland or something like that. And I just thought that was a really awesome idea. I would love to hear your guys' takes on certain actors, directors, writers. It's just really rad. I thought that was cool. I was just curious if you guys had any more traction on that. And I don't know if you guys are watching Alien Earth, but I'll be honest, I'm kind of enjoying it. my expectations were really high because it's, Noah Hawley is writing it from Fargo, and man, I love that show. And being an Alien fan, I don't know, I'm actually really enjoying it though. So I was curious if you guys watched the first few episodes. Kind of interested in what you guys have to say. Well, anyways, I'm starting my first day of my 12-day vacation with my wife and kids, and I'm really looking forward to it. So look forward to tomorrow's episode. See ya.
Thanks for listening, man. Appreciate it. And thanks for reminding us about the Hall of Fame episodes, the ideas that
Mm.
kind of talking about that. I think there's some traction, man. I think people want to hear about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in my head, what the Hall of Fame episode sounds like is that as opposed to saying taking a movie, we take an actor or a director and we kind of deep dive that actor or director.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of there's an Argento episode or two where we almost do that when we went over the Argento documentary from was it like 2 years ago. We did a pretty nice deep dive on him on that
Yeah.
episode due to the subject nature of the film. And I think anytime we've covered a documentary, we've done that, but we've never, pulled the trigger on say, let's do a Kurt Russell episode or
I,
let's do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, something like that. That's like a Hall of Fame idea, like, right? Or
I
Barbara
think
Crampton episode. Yeah.
I think there's a lot to work with there. And I'd like if
Mhm.
anyone out there listening, Travis, definitely thanks for reminding us. And if you guys want to write us or give us some messages about that, about what your ideas might be, the best way to approach this, like we'll work with it. And I actually think that this is something that we should do towards the end of the year, like along with
Hmm.
our year-end episode. I think it's another thing I'd like to maybe it'd be fun to do it every year. We can have like a like an Academy Awards of Necromaniacs or something. You know what I mean? Like recognize certain directors and actors and things like that. And you know, I just think it'd be cool because there's definitely like there's right away I can think of like Donald Sutherland, you know, at Tom Atkins, like all these guys are like guys that Wings Hauser. These are all like
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I did like.
Necromaniacs approved people.
Yeah.
These are like
He
our
passed a few
guys.
weeks ago. Yeah, he passed this year.
Yeah, and these are like our guys. Like, and like Winks Hauser's not really a household name, but on Necromaniacs, he's like the man.
Ah, very true. Very
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
so
So I think it's a cool idea.
something like that. I'm totally down with that. And I think it's really cool. And so yeah, if you're listening to this episode, you know that we're both really on board with the alien Earth thing, so
Hmm.
that's cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah,
Check it out. If you haven't watched it yet, it gets our seal of approval.
yeah. And cheers on vacation. Take care now.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to this week's feature film, Weapons,
Hmm.
directed by Zach Cregger, written by Zach Cregger. And we know Zach Cregger from Barbarian, which was like figured highly a couple of years ago when it came out.
Oh yeah,
I
it was
yeah,
in all of our tops in 2022. Absolutely.
yeah. And he produced Companion, a film I haven't seen yet this year.
Me neither.
Yeah. I can't
Uh,
say that I'm gung ho to go run out and see that one, but I'm sure I will see it before the end of the year.
hold on, I'm gonna click on that. Let's see, companion. Okay, American science fiction thriller. Sophie Thatcher, Jack. It's a maybe. Yeah, I think I'd watch that. I just read about it. Yeah, Warner Brothers Pictures. All right,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'll check that out.
So released August 8th, 2025. Just hot new film.
Mm.
And it's 128 minutes long.
Hmm.
Um, actually, we were talking about Zach Cregger before the episode started recording,
Hmm.
and he's a comedy guy, right?
Well, yeah, he was an actor. I think he was trying to make. I mean, if you look at his Wikipedia, he was in a whole bunch of acting roles. Almost seemed like he was trying to be an actor for a while in the O's. Prior to directing this 2009 film called Miss March. Um, yeah, he acted in several movies. A movie called College. He acted in Miss March, Love, Love and Air Sex, Date and Switch, Opening Night, Doubting Thomas. And then, surprise, surprise, in 2011, he starred in a superhero fan film called The Death and Return of Superman as Green Lantern and Hal Jordan.
I
Apparently, this is on YouTube, so I'm going to look this up
Yeah,
tonight.
I got to check
Yeah,
that out. I would really like to see that. Um, I haven't seen the new Superman film, by the way.
it's great, and it's making tons and tons of dough. So,
Good.
yeah, it's a huge success. Um, yeah, 2 hours long, um, budget of 38 million, and it has made, folks, over $200 million in 3 weeks. So, yeah,
Another thing
amazing.
about Zach Cregger too is like he's one of the, and I'm going to go out and I'm just going to say it, man. He's one of the few comedic directors, writers, whatever, filmmakers that has really successfully made horror. I know that there's been a few out there that have tried, and
Mm,
to varying degrees of success. But Zach Cregger's two horror films, I think, are outstanding.
yeah, they are. They're fucking home runs. Like, look, I went with Yoshitomi. He is a tough critic in modern horror. He hates most modern horror, hates it all of it.
Oh, it's
Doesn't
like
like it.
Jeff. So it's like
Yeah,
Jeff.
hates almost all of it. But he wanted to see this, and he liked Barbarian a lot, and he loved this movie. And he's a tough nut to crack, like you know what I'm saying. And in my opinion, like for him to really like this movie and Barbarian, to me says something about Zach Cregger. That's my point. You know,
Yeah.
I think Zach Cregger knows. Look, amidst him, you know, doing his thing in the O's and trying to be an actor in these whatever kind of movies. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
care about his current body of work, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, totally.
Um, he's talent. I think he has watched some good horror in his past, maybe, or he's taken some cues from some cool places. He knows what to do with the camera, in my opinion. And yeah, he's made another home run horror movie. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and this film's got a pretty great cast in it too, actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So top billing goes to Josh Brolin as Archer Graff. I mean,
Mhm.
he's the biggest star in the film, really. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We got
Alongside Julia Garner. Yeah.
yeah, Julia Garner. Yeah, I mean, but Josh Brolin definitely has a higher profile though.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah.
So we got Julia Garner as Justine Gandy. She's I would say probably the main protagonist in this film.
Hmm.
She plays a teacher. And this is kind of the linchpin of the whole story, really.
Mm.
We've got Alden Ehrenreich as Paul
Hmm.
Morgan.
Hmm.
He's the cop,
Yes.
Justine's former ex-boyfriend or ex-boyfriend rather. And
Apparently, he was on Supernatural, which a show I never really watched.
oh dude, no, oh man, I used to love Supernatural.
Mm.
Yeah, that was I used to watch that back 20 years ago, whatever it was out.
He also was. I completely forgot this as I was watching the movie. He was Han Solo in Solo, a Star Wars story, which I
Oh, dude,
actually enjoyed.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
One of the funniest characters is Austin Abrams as James. He's like a crackhead burglar guy, basically.
Yeah. Yes. Really great role. Apparently, he was on the fifth and sixth seasons of The Walking Dead. I think I I'm trying to remember where I punched out with The Walking Dead, so I might have seen it. He was also on This Is Us, and he is Ethan on HBO's Euphoria. So yeah, he's making his way.
We've got Carrie Christopher as Alex Lilly. He's the only kid who doesn't disappear. So, and
Mhm.
that will have more meaning as we go on.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch of TV stuff. Yeah, young kid.
Benedict Wong as Marcus Miller. He's the principal of the school.
A guy whose face I definitely have seen around over the years, right? He looks familiar, 54 years old. He's done a bunch of stuff, I would say. Oh, he was in Kick-Ass 2. Doctor Strange. Oh, he's Wong in Doctor Strange. Okay, duh. No wonder he looks very familiar. He was also same character in Spider-Man No Way Home, same character in Shang-Chi. He's from the Marvel Universe. Yeah.
Right on. And
Mhm.
actually, Amy Madigan, we probably should have mentioned her earlier. Yeah,
Yes.
she's an old royalty, man. She's like been around forever. She plays Aunt Gladys, and we'll get into her later.
Yeah, but first of all, I didn't realize that she is 74 years old. I actually thought she was like younger than that,
Yeah, me too, actually. That was a little
Like
bit of a shock that she's 74
um she's in Streets of Fire, dude.
with
Uh
Lee Ving.
yes. Yes.
Lee Ving is like 74, isn't he?
Yes, she was in Uncle Buck. She was in like a bunch of stuff in the 80s, Field of Dreams. Only a small smattering of stuff in the 90s, and then a bunch of stuff in the 2000s. But
Well,
wow, Amy Maggie, yes, Streets of Fire. Holy shit. Yeah, wow. Gotta go.
she was in Antlers, a film that Jeff and I did.
Yes.
On
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
it's a cool movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Hmm.
We've got Justin Long, who plays one of the kids' fathers.
Hmm.
You know, so yeah, we he was of
Gary.
course he was in Barbarian. So it's cool to see him again.
Hmm.
And also, Justin Long is a funny guy, right? So
Oh yeah.
Zach Cregger, former funny guy, but he he plays the comedy well in his horror. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like there's like smatterings of humor in this film, but it's not heavy-handed, you know?
mm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's that's most of the cast. I think that's pretty much all the main players in this
Yeah,
this
smaller role to June Diane Raphael, who plays Donna Morgan, the wife of the policeman, Paul Morgan, who has two interesting, one very interesting scene in the liquor store, and then another scene at home with her
Oh,
husband.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the liquor store scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this film does not take place. It's similar to Barbarian. It takes place pretty much all like out of sequence, and it jumps around a lot between different characters. And I mean,
Mm.
actually, it's told in this there's sections with headings that bear each character's name, and it kind of
Yes,
tells.
it is in a non-linear narrative.
That's the word I was looking for.
Um, yes, but here's the deal. Like it's people call it, it's Tarantino-esque. Some have referred to
Yeah,
it
yeah, I'll
as.
say that. Yeah,
But you know what? I think that's cool for a horror
yeah.
movie. I have zero problem with that at all. As someone who loves when Tarantino does these things, why can't someone do it in a horror movie?
You know, that's a director I'd love to see do a straight horror film. I mean,
Yes.
I know he did Death Proof, but
Yeah. Mhm.
that was more like, grindhouse kind of send up,
Yes. It wasn't a straight horror film. Not at
Yeah.
all. No.
And I would like to see him do some kind of dark,
Yeah.
brutal horror film, something that's like an actual horror movie. Probably
Well,
never happened.
that final movie is going to start shooting in December. Apparently, I
Yeah.
don't know too much about it, but yeah,
Probably never happened.
probably never. Right.
Yeah. But we could wish. Um, so yeah, there's a child narrator, there's a voiceover, and they talk about on a Wednesday in the town of Maybrook,
Mhm.
17 children just disappeared. They decided to like leave their homes at 2:17 a.m. And only one student, Alex, made it to class the next day. And they all the
Mhm.
kids were in Justine's class, the teacher.
Christine Grant Gandy, of course,
Yeah.
played by Julia Garner. Yes.
So as you can imagine, there's all sorts of trauma that Justine is dealing with, and the town is kind of lined up against her too, thinking that she had something to do with the disappearance of all these kids.
Yeah, the town kind of hates her. They think something is amiss because, well, she's still around, and Why was it only her class in the school and no one others, no other classes, no other children? It's very strange. And we learn more about her, Justine's character. She's an alcoholic. She relapses into alcoholism post this whole thing happening, and she seeks comfort in her ex-boyfriend, who is the police officer Paul Morgan, who we learn is married. We don't learn that till a little bit later on. And she's kind of, as they say, spiraling. Would you agree?
Definitely spiraling. It's the scene with their ex-boyfriend at the bar
Mm.
is like pretty good. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, really
he
good scene.
agrees to meet up with her, and it's like
Mhm.
it's like one of those situations. I thought it was very realistic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely very realistic. Um, it seemed very plausible, Look, sometimes in horror movies, supernatural horror movies, there's not a lot of scenes like that, right, Mike? Like, there's not a lot of like those kind of taken straight out of a possibility of someone's life kind of
Well,
moment.
I'm gonna say that the first, I don't know, 40 minutes of this movie
Mhm.
really plays as a drama because it's a lot of it's about, the kind of personal life of Justine and how she
Yes.
interacts with all these people and like,
Hmm.
and then um, you know, it plays like a drama, with the father, Josh Brolin's character, sort of
Hmm.
obsessing about his missing son, and that kind of thing.
It
Uh,
really does. And everyone's PTSD. You're right. It
yeah,
plays almost like a drama, but maybe perhaps a dark drama. There are some moments
yeah, yeah.
what the fuck moments.
But there's a lot of character building. You
Character
get,
building. Yes.
yeah,
Zach Cregger does this very well. That's
yeah,
another thing I want to mention. Like in a lot of horror movies, movies in general, you don't know anything about anybody sometimes, Well, I mean, definitely not in a superior movie or a good movie, but in horror movies or movies that are not like major Hollywood films, a lot of times you don't get a lot to go on. He makes sure that everyone that we mentioned in the cast, we know something about.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
we
They're
know quite a bit
developed.
about, actually. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're developed. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
but yeah, that scene though is now this is the question though. Was the cop, that
Hmm.
guy, whatever, Paul, right? He
Hmm.
was
Yeah,
he was
Paul.
married. That was his wife, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Later on, we learned yes. We don't realize he's married when he goes to meet up with his ex
Yeah.
and they go back to her house and he eventually sleeps with her. We don't realize that just yet.
So
We
now
realize that
did
a little
the
later.
one thing I wasn't clear about, and this isn't really important. This is just you know, my
Hmm.
perverted sick mind. Like there's like he spends the night at Justine's house.
Yes.
So how
What
does he
an idiot.
explain that to his wife?
Well, look, okay, well, spoiler alert for everybody, obviously. We didn't say that
That's not
early
really,
on.
that's
I know. Well, here's the thing when they give him his little portion of the movie and he walks in the door, okay, he is a cop, right? Sometimes cops work overnight shifts, and I believe he does work overnights. He
okay.
does.
All right, that's how he explains it.
But when he came in the door, he could have just said I was at blah 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 after work or something. I worked the overnight and blah 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 because the wife apparently was on a trip, which was a little bit
Oh,
of the
right.
reason. The
Okay.
wife came home early from a trip. Surprise, surprise. But he played it. He just, I mean, he almost seemed like he wanted to just get caught. Like he just was like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like very bad at this. Because I think also um he had been drinking and he hadn't like he was an alcoholic himself apparently,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
hadn't
he
drank
had
in
a
a
problem with
while, and
drinking.
then he
Yeah.
drank with her. So that and like the wife just knew something was up. Like when he walked in the door and she looked at him, and it was quite a moment there. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I
yeah, I
mean,
think he figured it out because of his the retarded look on his face.
well, I mean, I want to jump ahead because like just the connecting these two things I thought was hysterical. So,
Mm.
um, there's a scene where Justine is in this liquor store and she's like going hard with the booze. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she buys 2 large bottles of vodka. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's scenes where well, the other thing she's been doing is like she's been kind of stalking the kid, Alex.
Yes. Right.
And she's like, posted up in her car with like I don't know, like a spiked like Slurpee or something like
Yeah, she's
that.
drinking a big gulp
A big
with
gulp.
the
Yeah.
vodka in it with perhaps some soda. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like the most like scumbag like thing you can do. I think it's so funny to like you have a spiked big gulp
A
that you're drinking out
spiked
of a
big gulp
straw.
while driving.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's,
while driving. Yeah.
so one night when she's in the liquor store buying, another couple bottles of vodka, like
Mhm.
in the background, you see this like figure moving towards her.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, she's like out of focus, but you see this like a
Blonde.
woman,
You see blonde? Yeah.
you see blonde hair, and you
Hmm.
see this woman closing the distance on her. And I'm like, oh shit, something's gonna go down here.
Mm.
And she just gets attacked by Paul's wife.
Yeah. She
And
goes off.
she goes off on her, man. And she just
Mhm.
it's like you fucked him or something like that.
Yeah,
It
and
was like,
she empties a liquor bottle on her and throws it to the ground, and it's quite a scene.
yeah.
Yes.
So Justina's not having a good time.
No, no.
She's like ostracized by the town. She's obsessed with Alex and what happened. She's home wrecking, getting beat
And
up,
she's been placed on leave. She's been
and
placed on leave
she's been placed on leave by
from teaching. Yep. Hmm.
yeah, by Marcus, the principal. So it's bad times for her.
Bad times all around. Yes. Um, the thing is, okay, but what we're doing, much like Mike and I are jumping around, the movie jumps around a lot because it gives each one of these major characters a backstory. It gives them what happened to them, how the disappearance of the child has affected this person's life and whatnot. But what we learn about the children is that they all left, like Mike said, at exactly the same time, and fled out into the streets, and they all fled in the same manner,
Yeah,
almost like a quote weapon. Like their arms are a certain way. They're almost like a plane about to dive bomb, or like just something that's about to strike something else, right, Mike? Like, kind of menacing almost in a way.
yeah. There's a lot of like it's very intentional the way they're running. They got their arms sort of like like out in a V sort of formation, and they're
Yeah,
all
yeah, that was
running.
creepy, man.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. There's a lot of disturbing stuff in this movie, man.
There really is. And there's a lot of like just tension moments and things with the camera and where things linger. When a local drug dealer guy gets his backstory, there is a horrific scene of Aunt Gladys, which we'll get to her in 2 seconds, of just her in the forest, and it almost looks like this disturbing clown image, but it's an old lady, right? Like, tell
Yeah.
me that didn't fuck you up when they did that.
Yeah, and we don't know who it is at that point, though. You know
No,
what I
we
mean?
don't. Right.
He's out in the woods being a drug addict, kind of lurker.
Mhm.
And actually, he lives in a tent too, doesn't he?
He lives in a tent. Yeah, he's one of the characters. He has this big, dust up with Paul, the police officer. And it's very amusing. I almost don't even want to talk all about that. Like, it has comedic moments. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, that's exactly that. The cop Paul
Mhm.
and the crackhead are like
Mhm.
the funniest characters in the movie actually, because like Paul is like the quintessential cop. He's got a
Yeah, James.
mustache.
Yeah. Mhm.
He's got a mustache. He's like kind of a fool. Like he's even he seems kind of ineffectual, but he
Yeah. Mhm.
definitely throws his weight around. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think he uses the things are not great at home,
no,
obviously,
no, no, no.
and he kind of probably takes that kind of shit out on maybe the people on the street, as they say.
Yeah,
Um, but it's very well done. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't hate him really, but you don't love him. You kind of love this drug addict though. James, the homeless drug addict burglar, played by Austin Abrams, the dude from Euphoria. Uh, he's a great character. He's kind of like, homeboyish too. Like, he's very much the role he's playing, right, Mike?
yeah. Yeah, like when he first showed up on the scene in the movie, Tina was like, "It's like that guy looks like someone who would go on tour with you guys."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
He looks like someone I see it at least one, like at every show. There's at least one of him at every show I go to. Like literally, I mean, maybe two. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, definitely, he has that vibe about him. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so he takes it out on him. He kind of like, I would say harasses him a bit.
Yeah. But he, James gets his, his comeuppance, and you will see that when you see the film. But
Well, the
yeah.
purpose of James too is like there's really what this is all leading up to is the house that Alex lives in,
Hmm.
and James is like a one of the vehicles that they use in this film to kind of bring everyone to the house.
Yes.
Because James, like, like typical like drug addict behavior, he's robbing, stealing, selling things at the pawn shop and all that. So, he breaks into the house, the Lily house, or Alex, the young boy,
Mm.
and then you don't hear from him for a while. You know what I mean?
Right. What a surprise, he breaks into the into the quote unquote haunted house, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's a scene too that was very disturbing where Justine follows Alex home, right? And she's
Mhm.
she's posted up outside of the house, and it gets dark and she falls asleep. And then the door opens up, it's dark out, and this woman comes out with scissors.
Yes. Oh my God, that was creepy.
Dude, it was
Holy
like
shit.
I was like, what the fuck is happening here, man?
Yeah.
You really had this. It was like the way she was moving and the way
Mm.
that like she's like wielding these scissors and she rolls up to the car and you're like, oh, I hope Justine's car is locked, but the car's unlocked.
Mm.
And you hear her get in. She gets into the car off screen though. You
Yeah.
hear the
Yeah.
door open and then she cuts a lock of her hair and then just disappears.
Mm.
And like,
Yes, and that woman is the little boy's mom.
right.
And the mom and dad are in this catatonic state,
Yeah.
courtesy, sadly, of Aunt Gladys. Yes.
At the time, though, you don't really know who it is, though. You know what I mean? It's just like some random person that could be living, who knows what's even inside that house. So, at
Yeah.
the time, it doesn't have the context of being Alex's mother, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we get to the backstory a bit of the two parents and about how like they show that the house was once this like normal, beautiful house, and the parents were normal, and everything
Yeah.
was, what I'm saying? Like it was kind of depressing, actually, like knowing what was ahead,
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, the character development. It's like, and you don't even really know much about Alex until midway through the film either, because, you know, he they spend some time describing the family, and you see Alex with all of his classmates, and
Mm.
he's like a small kid. There's one kid in particular that kind of picks on him that
Yep.
turns out to be Archer's son.
Yeah, Josh Brolin's son. Interest of note, uh, Alex's mother and father don't have names. They are
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Lilly and Mrs. Lilly.
Oh, there you
Isn't that
go.
interesting?
Yeah.
No names in the credit. They're just Mr. Lilly, Mrs. Lilly. Um, but we learned that at one point, in another flashback, when the dad is picking up Alex from school, the dad tells the boy that their mom's aunt is coming to stay with them, right?
Yeah. Now this is where we
Aunt
get to
Gladys,
Aunt
and that
Gladys.
she's sick. She's very sick. She's coming to stay with them. He doesn't know for how long. He doesn't think it's going to be that long because of how sick she is. And they're explaining this to the little boy.
Yeah. So she's got some unknown ailment that she's dealing with, and they never
Mm.
really go into any detail. And now Aunt Gladys shows up and she's got this well, actually, the first time you really see her is out in the woods, but then you see her when she shows up at the school.
Yeah. Oh my God. And she is scary looking.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to describe it. It's just, it's clownish, but not really. Like I don't even know. I can't really describe her. She looks like she's from the 70s. She looks like an old woman, but her attire and garb is literally from the 1970s.
Yeah.
And there's just something so creepy about her, even though when she's not being creepy, right, Mike?
Well, it's just her overall appearance. Like she's clearly wearing a wig. She
Hmm.
has this like makeup like smeared all over her face.
Yeah.
It's all it what I thought about Heath Ledger as the Joker almost, you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like lipstick, like or not even all like just on her face, basically, and very,
Mm.
very disturbing. She's acting like unhinged in a way, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extreme, extreme personality.
Uh,
And you right away get the sense that she's concealing something possibly, you know what I mean? That she's not telling the truth about certain things. And she's trying to, convince the principal that she's the guardian, that Alex's guardian, you know what I mean?
mm.
So it's real creepy, really suspicious, right? So we get into like her character, um, how it pertains to the family, the Lilly family. And allegedly, she's the aunt. But no one's ever, she may or may not be the aunt, like the
Yeah,
real.
she's supposed to be her great aunt, but again, I get like we don't have a ton of info. We're just accepting that at face value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and
that's
this
cool.
and
Like I
this
think that
is
that's
the
cool.
real crux of the film. Like this is the real like supernatural-esque element of the film because, she has some kind of ability, supernatural ability. She can
Mm.
do these rituals and cast hexes and things like that and control people. And she's got some sort of like witchcraft abilities. Um, and I think Mike, you were saying that online there's some talk of her that she might not actually. All right, there's one school of thought that
Hmm.
she's actually hundreds of years old,
Right.
right?
That
That
she's
she's
an evil entity.
an
Yes.
evil entity. And then there's another school of thought where she was an old woman that she
Hmm.
possibly is their actual great aunt who
Hmm.
got sick and turned to black magic to help herself, right?
Yes. And Zach Cregger gave an interview recently where he said that he presented Amy Madigan with two origin stories for Gladys, and she could choose whichever one she wanted to, but she could never tell him which one she was playing out, like at all. Like she had complete control over the character
That's
once he
fucking
told her that.
that's fucking
And
cool.
like Mike said, the first of which is that Gladys is a regular person who turned to dark magic in a last ditch attempt to survive this illness she has. Okay, plausible. But the second is that she's not even human at all, but an evil creature behaving like a human. So I got to be honest. I, a part of me thinks she could very well have just been someone who was a mortal, right? Who fell into witchcraft and dark, like serious dark magic. But the bump in the road there would be her appearances and reappearances. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Those moments in the woods and those moments in the ceiling, Mike. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are these ethereal moments with her, which makes me think perhaps there is way more to her. But
Well,
I like not knowing. I like
yeah.
not knowing.
And it's unlikely that you're ever going to get, there isn't going to be a sequel or a prequel. There's not none of that's going to happen here. You know what I mean?
Zach Cregger does not seem to be Mr. Sequel guy.
No, or prequel guy. Yeah.
No, I
You're not
don't
going to
think
get
he is.
anything. So it's up to you to fill in the blanks here, and I think it's a little bit of both actually, Mike. I think that
Mm,
maybe I think that she's clearly in an unhuman thing.
okay.
Because there's many moments where you see her and she just appears to be this like almost like a demon or something.
Right. And
Um,
he also said that he is quite open about that he loves fan theories and that he loves that Gladys is open to interpretation.
Yeah, that's
That's
great.
great.
I love
Good.
it too.
Good.
And like the abilities that she has as a witch, are pretty extensive. I mean, look at the feats that she's able to pull off in this, controlling people.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the reason, she's why the kids ran away. Like we find out the fate of the kids, and it's all relates to her. And
Yeah.
so she's got powerful magic. Okay, powerful
Basically,
sorcery. So
sorry. Basically, the parents weren't enough. Okay. Initially, the mom and dad of Alex were supposed to be enough to restore her, so to speak,
yeah,
and keep her healthy. And they were for an X amount of time because we see it in the movie. It did last a little while, maybe a month,
yeah,
um, until Alex comes into her room one night and she's kind of a mess again and she looks very sickly again. And she concocts the idea that he needs to get a personal item from everyone in his class and that she's going to need young energy. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you
She,
kind of fill in the blanks.
yeah, and
And
that,
he does just that. And like Mike said, she is the reason why the children disappear, and every child flees into the front door of Alex's house. Um, I thought that was fucking cool. Look, at the beginning of the movie, you don't know any of this, and as you're
yeah,
watching the movie, you're 45 minutes into the movie, and you maybe have figured out that obviously, Aunt Gladys is has something to do with it, and we just don't know anything really for a long time, and I like that for a while we don't know what the fuck is going on
yeah.
really.
Well,
Mm.
I think she's like I said. I think it's almost it's very much. How like lately last year I've been reading all these Carly Wagner stories.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
she's like a being out of out of a Kane novel. It's like this is, she's like this like ancient creature that it needs life force to like survive, and that's kind of what I feel like she is. I feel like she's not even she's powerful, obviously, right? She's
Mm.
not related to them whatsoever, but she just is a parasite, and she uses the life force to sustain herself. Because there is a moment where you see her laying down and she looks really decrepit and sickly,
Mm.
because she's probably needing life force, and
Yeah.
like you said, the two the mom and the dad didn't suffice, and Alex is like, easily manipulated because she keeps them alive so that she
Mm.
can manipulate Alex. And she's like, look, you want things, I can do bad things to your mom and your dad if you tell anyone about me. And then she motivates him to go out and, like you said, get something personal from all of his classmates. And that's how she summons them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we've spoiled quite a bit. I mean, do we want to,
I
you
mean,
know?
yeah. I mean, I think regardless of what we say about this movie, it's still a fucking incredibly enjoyable film. You know what I mean?
Yes. And honestly, the last 20 minutes of this movie, is it 20, maybe 25 minutes of the movie, are jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Like it gets buck wild.
Oh yeah.
Um, with the violence and the intensity and just you're glued to the screen. I mean, honestly, uh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was the last section of the film
Mhm.
goes to places that I didn't think they would go. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, especially the very end. And the movie involves young children, and when the movie was over, I had said to Mark, I said, dude, that ending reminded me of that movie, Who Can Kill a Child? And he's like, oh shit, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The 1976 Spanish horror film, which I would gather some of our listeners have definitely seen. I feel like we cover it, or
We
maybe
talked
cover it? We
about
covered a
doing that
remake
one.
or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really good movie dealing with violent children, and it gets very downbeat at the end, let's say. And this movie ending, while happy, is also rather downbeat. Would you agree?
Oh
Downbeat?
yeah, definitely. And we don't that's and we we'll spare you guys that. You should go out and see this. But yeah,
Mm,
it's a happy-ish ending
mm.
because it's not like the sun shining and everything goes back to normal. Let's put it this way.
Right, right. Now, again, without saying too much, what do you, I mean, look, it really kind of does leave it open a little bit. If not for obviously a sequel, I have a funny feeling everyone is going to want a movie about Gladys.
Oh yeah.
That could happen, but again, would be cooler if it never happened. You
I
know?
I I mean I would love to see a movie about that. But I
Yeah.
know I also would love not to. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I love the fact that we're talking about this and everyone has theories about everything and it develops its
Mhm.
own energy on that level. But Zach Cregger's not one of these motherfuckers who's going to make he wants you to do that. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going to satisfy your craving for a sequel or prequel or any of that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, what about the fate of the young boy, Alex? Like, what do you like? Honestly, I don't know. He definitely won't be the same.
No
You
one's
know.
going to be the same in this.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's like, then that's what I was getting at. It's like,
Mm,
it's not like, everything is hunky dory in the world. It's like there's after effects of this whole thing, and there's like lasting trauma and all that stuff.
yeah. Alex, the family moves out of town. I'm going to spare you the fate of the parents, but all the children who disappeared, apparently, they were reunited with their parents. And then the voiceover says something to the effect of, and some have begun speaking again.
Yeah,
So
it's
that,
dark.
like, it's fucking fucked up. Like, it's
Yeah, it's
really fucked
super,
up.
super dark, man. Definitely the
Yeah.
ending. Yeah. What do you give this one, man?
Oh, it's a 5 out of 5,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah,
mean,
five out of
I don't
five.
know. Look, we've got 4 or 5 months left in the year. There are some very good movies that we're going to cover coming. Um, you know, this is going to be tough to beat. Um, I'm sure there are ones that are just as good, but for me, like I really like this movie. Like I loved it. I mean, even more than Barbarian to a degree, you
Yeah, no,
know?
I love this movie. I like it more than Barbarian. It's a five out
Mm.
of five for me. It's number one or two on my list right now.
Yeah, I mean, and Aunt Gladys is like a new Freddy Krueger, but I hope they don't do to Freddy Krueger with, they
Yeah.
they don't treat her like Freddy Krueger, but you know what I'm saying? Like she's fucked up, man. She's, it's very scary moments. Great fucking directing, great acting, a quality. I guess I mean, look, it is a mainstream horror movie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
um, but it's not mainstream in the sense of like, Megan the AI doll
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Not like
No,
that. I
totally.
mean, it's quality. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nothing like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it, man. I'm looking forward to his next film.
No, absolutely. Apparently, he will be taking on Resident Evil, writing and directing his own take and square one approach to Resident Evil. I never played the game. I was never a gamer, but I know Resident Evil is huge among a certain horror sect. I'm trying to think. Maybe I did see the first one or two of the ones from the O's. Was it? I
Yeah,
think I
I
did.
definitely
I still
saw
remember
those.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, he's certainly a competent director. So yeah.
I'll fuck with it for sure.
No, definitely. And apparently he had almost you know, he was inspired for this movie by Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia
Interesting.
and Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners from 2013 and a novel by Jennifer Egan called A Visit from the Goon Squad. Those were his inspirations for this movie. Wow.
The fucking rules, man.
Yeah, yeah. Prisoners. Now I definitely want to see that. Well, Prisoners has Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Terrence Howard. Yeah, definitely checking that movie out. It's a crime thriller. You ever heard of that?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, ensemble cast: Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, Terrence Howard,
Oh yeah, Maria
Melissa
Bello,
Leo.
man.
Yeah.
That's a name blast from the past. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to definitely peep that. And Visit from the Goon Squad. Hmm. Novel. Hmm.
Okay.
Well, I caught vibes of an obscure Spanish horror movie called Who Can Kill a Child at the end, but that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, check it out, guys. This one figures high on our on our list so far. I know Jeff really enjoyed it too.
Cool,
So
cool.
maybe we'll probably be talking about this movie again at the end of the year.
Yes, we will. All righty, kids. Another episode for the listening audience is in the books. And thank you all so much. Thanks for the calls, man. 3 calls this week, huh?
Yeah, keep them coming, man. And also, yeah, do me a favor. Let us know what your idea is about the Hall of Fame, like what
Mhm.
format. And then I personally would like it to be a little more interactive. Like we can pick a Hall of Fame, but I almost want to put a poll up there with the fans
Mm.
of the listeners and fans of these guys, and like who they're we come up with maybe some categories and listeners can put in like vote on people or something like that. I'm down. Like I want to make this an annual thing we do. And I want to
Yeah,
have like
yeah. Why not?
Necromaniacs Hall of Fame, man. I think it'd be fun to do something like that.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you,
Cool.
Mr. Hill.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
When it's cold and when it's dark, the freezing moon can obsess you.